Hello students. Yesterday we started a new unit, and in the new unit we started a new topic, that is the concept of aggregate demand. So we did the meaning, we did the components of aggregate demand, and we draw aggregate demand schedule for the same also, right? So aggregate demand schedule, many of you have done the work and sent it back to me. So again, just for the sake of a revision, I have just drawn this schedule again, where E is level of employment in the economy, Y is national income or income level, C is consumption level, I is autonomous investment, and aggregate demand, which is equal to consumption plus investment. So when no one is working in the economy, right, then income will also be 0, right, but still consumption will be 50. This consumption will be known as autonomous consumption. When 10 lakh people will be working, the level of income will increase in the economy to 50 lakh. Then also level of consumption is 75. Here you can see that consumption is more, right, and income is less. If income is less, consumption is more. How we are going to do this consumption? This consumption is coming from this savings, right? This means we are withdrawing our savings from the banks and then we are spending money. Then when level of employment is equal to 20, income will increase to 100. Here consumption is also equal to 100. So the point where income and consumption both are equal is known as break-even point. Then level of employment is increasing to 30, 40, 50, 60. Same way we can see level of income is also increasing to 150, 200, 250 and 300. Every time income is increasing by 50 lakh. Then consumption is also increasing from 100 to 125, 125 to 150, 150 to 175 and 175 to 200. So every time consumption is increasing by 25 lakh. I told you earlier that this investment is autonomous investment which does not have any connection with income. So this is done for not for profit motivation but for the social welfare. So investment will remain same as 50 only. So when we will take the total of consumption and investment, we will got the values for aggregate demand. So here up to this first and second point we can see, right? So aggregate demand is greater but income is less. Why so? Because for these 2 points consumption is more than income. Then after this, when income and consumption both are equal, this is C is equal to Y, break even point. After break even point, aggregate demand is less than Y, national income. Why? Because consumption is less than income. So here you can see what is there. This is 200, this is also 200, this is 250, this is 225, this is 300 and this is 250. So some points, what is happening, you can see this point 200 and 200, here aggregate demand is equal to Y. Aggregate demand and Y both are equal, but after this point what is there, aggregate demand is less and Y is more. So by using the same values, what we have done, we have drawn these curves, right? You can see aggregate demand curve. Aggregate demand has made up from consumption and from investment. So that is why how it will happen, consumption curve plus investment curve will become aggregate demand curve. First of all, we have drawn this curve which is autonomous investment curve. Now autonomous investment is 50-50 for all levels of income. For 0 level also this is 50. For 50 level of income also this is 50. For 100 level of income autonomous investment is 50. For 150 this is 50, 250, 250 and 50, 350. So when we have joined all these points, we have got autonomous investment curve which is a parallel to x-axis. So this is showing that all levels of income, this autonomous investment will remain same. This will not change. Then consumption curve. When income is equal to 0, here we have taken income and on this side we have taken aggregate demand, consumption and investment. So when income is 0, then consumption is equal to 50. So the first point will come here. I have given it name A. This A means autonomous consumption. When income is equal to 0, this 50 is consumption and this is known as autonomous consumption. After this, when income is 50, consumption is 75. income is 100, consumption is also 100. I have given this point B where income and consumption both are equal. This is known as break even point because income is also 100 and consumption is also 100. Then income is 150 and consumption is 125. Income is 200 and consumption is 150. Income is 250 and consumption is 175. Income is 300 and consumption is equal to 200, right? So after joining these points, we have got consumption curve. Now about consumption curve, one thing keep in mind that it is not starting from the origin. This is origin, but this curve is not starting from the origin. Why so? Why? Because at zero level of income, consumption will not be zero. So at zero level of income also, consumption will be some positive amount. So that is why consumption curve will origin from y-axis. So consumption curve's origin is y-axis. After that you can see that consumption curve is a straight line, upward sloping straight line. Why this is straight line? Because every time when income is increasing by 50, every time consumption is increasing by 25. So they both are changing by a constant proportion. So that is why this consumption curve is a straight line. Now why this is increasing? This is increasing. Why? Because with increase in income, consumption is also increasing. So consumption curve will not start from the origin. It will start from y-axis. Then it will be a straight upward sloping line. Then we are having aggregate demand. Aggregate demand curve, whatever the values of aggregate demand are there, then now we will plot them. At zero level of income, aggregate demand curve is 100. So same as consumption will not start from origin, aggregate demand will also not start from origin. It will also originate from y-axis only. Then when income is equal to 50, aggregate demand is equal to 125. When this is equal to 100, aggregate demand is equal to 150. So when this is 150, aggregate demand is equal to 175. So here we can see as income is increasing by 50-50 each, then aggregate demand is also increasing by 25. Now you can see aggregate demand will also origin from y-axis. These are the similarities between AD and C. C is also not originating from origin. AD is also not originating from origin. Both are originating from y-axis. C is also a upward sloping straight line. AD is also a upward sloping straight line. So these are the similarities. But you can see C and AD, they are going parallel to each other. You can see parallel to each other means their gap is constant throughout this curve. Right. Now what is the gap between AD? We know AD is equal to C plus I. So if we want to see the gap between both, the gap is equal to investment. Right. So investment we know is 50 only. So that is why this gap will remain constant in between consumption curve and aggregate demand curve. So if there is a question that does C and AD always go parallel? So your answer should be yes. Why? Because the gap between the both is autonomous investment and autonomous investment will remain same at all levels of income. So that is why C and AD will always remain parallel to each other. So this way, as I have told you, you have to write down the explanation for this curve, right? So how you will write down in this diagram, you can see IA is autonomous investment curve, which is a horizontal line which is showing that at all levels of income, the level of investment will remain same. Same way you will write the explanation for consumption curve as I have told you, and same way you will write down the explanation for aggregate demand curve, right? Next we will see consumption and investment curves separately, right? We will study in detail what is consumption and what are the various aspects of consumption and investment. Thank you.